And I believe after further discussion and from executive, no action needs to be taken at this time. With OLT, we recognize that they do have a board, a commission that is able to provide them the leadership and the guidance and how OLT will operate. So I would encourage all of us to support our commission for OLT and allow them to move forward in their endeavors and creating a local business for our own broadband. Thank you, President. And I don't believe we needed to make a motion until the meeting this weekend.
Okay. We do have one more. Two-thirds item of marijuana.
Oh, it's on there. Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, because remember, I asked about it. You said they put it on, but they don't. You have to ask Stacy.
It's on there. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time. I'm really glad to have had the opportunity. I think we all have been. It's been something that we've been hoping to be able to do since we came aboard, and I hope the rest of the meeting goes very well for y'all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your patience and your team. Thank you for coming.
We can't be having conversations where people are saying dear all the time.
Okay. Justice trying to hide over here. I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's just a report, was it? Oh, go ahead. Councilwoman Spotted Bear.
So again, after further clarification, this came from the special that didn't make the vote to add it to two-thirds and on. So I believe no action needs to happen today because that needs to be dealt with in that working session as well.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, thank you for coming.
Perfect. Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
you know, I thought the committee action was supposed to, because now that ordinance we passed at the end of December is in effect, so now they're gonna have to start paying that fee. Because what we tried to two-thirds on, whatever, that special meeting, it failed, so then they took it off and it was supposed to be on today. That's what we was told. So now they're gonna have to pay those fees. It's in that present ordinance that we have.
Goes backwards to the past ordinance.
Well, that's what, they're gonna pay that high fee now. That was paid when we adopted it at the end of December.
Go ahead.
You know, we also, what came up at that meeting was, there's a public notice ordinance. And they still have to go out and educate the 9 districts
That was the only committee.
on the changes to this ordinance. So the people will know that the increase in the tax is going up. So because of that, the committee tabled the ordinance so it wouldn't take effect until they went out and did all of the public. But it's kind of like it was backwards. You know, we should have done that prior, before we made the changes to the ordinance. Some of us brought that up. You know, we should have been out there doing that before we even brought it to the council at Wounded Knee and pushed it through. Some of us wanted to table it. At the time, it didn't pass. Tabling motion failed. So the ordinance is still in effect today for the marijuana dispensaries. They still got to pay the tax until this governing body, changes it, rescinds it or whatever. But right now, Justin was to meet with them and set up these public meetings. Maybe that's why he's here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him speak here, go ahead, and then,
Petu Ashte, Chante, Ashina Petu, Apollo. Justin Poyer, Cannabis Executive Director. Thank you for hearing us again. So the EB&D committee took action to freeze the effective date of the new amendments to 2066. That was at the casino, the meeting at the casino. And it was supposed to go on to a special the following week. That meeting didn't happen. At the meeting, at the casino, it was brought up that there was the ordinance that Sonia was referring to was, I think it was 2067. So when we came back to committee on this past Friday, we found that ordinance had been rescinded with another ordinance, 2077, I think. So that ordinance that made us go to all the district meetings has been rescinded. So we talked about in committee on Friday that we was to have meetings with the owners, but the freeze of the new ordinance is still being debated. So that's where we're at. So.
President, so
yes, go ahead.
so that, Councilman Weston is exactly correct. The motion that would have happened today with it being on the agenda is to freeze the current marijuana ordinance until those hearings were met. Because that was rescinded due to COVID and you could not meet, that's why that motion was rescinded for the public hearings. However, the action that's needed today would be to freeze the current ordinance, the marijuana ordinance, until the director of marijuana meets with the dispensaries and notifies them of the increases, because those were actions that were not taken. So with that, I'll make that motion to freeze the current marijuana ordinance and revert to the previous until the director of marijuana meets with the dispensaries.
There you go. So we have a motion by Councilwoman Spotted Bear. Was that a second?
Yeah, I'll second it, but it's just a quick question. Justin, didn't you guys set up those working sessions with the owners?
We had that, like I stated at committee, we had the meeting scheduled that following, or the next day on Saturday. But since the committee took that action, we still had the meeting because we had it set up, we had the room paid for. So we still had one meeting with them. And we heard the same concerns that you all heard at the committee meeting. So I was waiting to see what the council wanted to do. I was ready to have the 9 district meetings, and we come up with that rescinding ordinance. So now we're going back to meeting with the owners. And the new ordinance is 2542, so you might want to put that in your motion.
Okay, we have a second by Councilman Little White Man. Councilman Standing Soldier, you had a question?
Just, do we have some form of time frame for this to get done?
I would say a month. If we're just meeting with the owners, we have 18 businesses. Some of them are double and triple owners, so I don't see, if we bring it back by next council meeting in a month, we should be good.
And you amend it to 45 days? Give you a little bit of wiggle room?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Roll call, Secretary. Oh, we have one more question. Go ahead, Councilwoman Sears.
So Justin, when they revert back to the old one, they'll continue to pay at that rate? Or is
Well-
everything frozen?
Going back to the 10%. Okay, so when that council action didn't happen, I told all the owners to stay at the 12.5 because that's what ordinance that was approved, that was the law, so. Now that some of them are doing 12.5, some of them are staying at 10, but now it'll refer back, and the ones that they might have already paid, so we'll have to look at it and see which ones they paid, but they should have paid 12.5.
Got a question, Councilman Puyer?
Chair, I think part of that motion should be that the attorney draft an amendment to an ordinance because a motion can't amend an ordinance. So our attorney's gonna have to get something to amend that 2542, I guess. That's the way I think it should happen.
You want to rescind it?
No, just to freeze it, because you need to, a motion can't rescind or freeze it. It has to be an ordinance amending it, right?
So the amendment would be what? To hold off, to freeze it,
Legally, can
for
I?
45 days?
Legally, can we pause, can we hold that current ordinance and revert to the old ordinance for 45 days? Is that allowable?
I would just rescind it, just because it'll make it clearer when you take further action. So just rescind this one and revert back to the prior ordinance. And if you, yeah.
Your question, go ahead.
My question to Justin is, we're just considered advisory at the committee level. So even though we took action that day to do what we did at the casino, we're still advisory until it comes to this council and we approve it. So the ordinance is still in place, so they have to pay that 12 whatever percent. So I don't want it to be where they come back and say, well, now that you guys passed it, you refund me back by 2% or whatever. So we need to make sure we put that in the language here on this ordinance, because that's what's going to come back like last time. Those others all wanted to be reimbursed for certain things. So we got to make sure we put that in there, Rayanne, so that they know too that if it goes back to 10%, then that's 10%.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused. So you're rescinding this ordinance, so I'm not amending anything. It'll go back to what was, if that's what it was, it's 10%.
But you have to remember, like you said, from when we tried to 2/3 it on at that special, it didn't make the 2/3. So he told them they still have to pay that 12%. Okay, some of them did, he said, some didn't. But we don't want those ones to come back and say, well, you need to reimburse me back since you guys passed it today. And those ones are gonna do that. So we have to make sure we put some language in there to cover that. So he knows what he needs to tell them when they come to him.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if you're rescinding, I'm not drafting anything. It's just a rescission of the ordinance, and you're reverting back to the prior one, which is 10%, and you're saying some of them have already paid more. So I guess moving forward, you're going to bring this, a new ordinance back after you communicate with the owners, and you can put that language in that ordinance of how you want to deal with that 12% that was overpaid. So you can put it in the next, after he talks to, yeah, and so you don't want, the way I'm understanding it is you don't want to be having to pay back. So maybe what could be done is it could be incorporated into the next round of taxes, so, okay.
That'll be good. Okay. Yeah, just got to make sure we're aware of that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna recommend was, we'll figure out the ones that paid the 12.5, we'll note it, we'll tell revenue, and it'll be like a credit on the next month's tax payment. Instead of a reimbursement, we'll credit them.
Councilwoman Spotted Bear then.
I don't understand why you would do that, because the law is the law. At that time, it was 12%. So why are we refunding or crediting anything when at that time, what their payment was, it was, or is today law until the vote passes?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. You can't change law unless we change it. So that's why we're saying that.
you don't get a credit.
It's well, it comes down to fairness too. I don't, that's something that.
Well, probably, and then, if we're following the law, which we're supposed to do, follow the law, the ones that didn't pay the tax, pay the 12.5, they still owe up until, like you said, the vote happens today and you rescind it.
Yeah.
So there'll be, all the ones that did pay it, we're just following the law. The ones that didn't pay it, they still owe us 12.5.
There you go. You gotta.
So after the vote, after you rescind it, then there'll be no reimbursements, no this or that.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
And that'll be explained. We'll work that out with the commission and Majo, and we'll get that all worked out when we bring back that amendment.
Councilman Little Whiteman.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say that, because the federal side, whenever our rates are fluctuating, none of us are reimbursed, so I don't think we should be reimbursing ourselves. It's just crazy to think that.
Okay, so we're not amending the motion, we're gonna run it? Is that,
That's just to rescind it, right?
45 days.
45?
And revert to the ordinance.
Okay.
Use your mic, turn your mic.
So he'll work with the marijuana attorney, which is Major, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you guys rescind this, it reverts back to 2066, and then he'll go out to the owners, meet with the owners, and then he can work with their attorney to draft up an ordinance based off of what came out of those meetings. That's all right. All right.
Justin, you're supposed to go with this when you see that.
So all they're doing is rescinding it and reverting back. Is there an ordinance? Oh, okay. I can draft one.
Okay. Are we good? Roll call.
I don't know.
Jeremy Rosales,
Yes.
Beef Randall,
Yes.
Tyler Lunderman,
Not voting.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Blaine Little Thunder,
Yes.
Troy Little,
Yes.
David Poyer,
Yes.
David Kelly,
Not voting.
Jillian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Norman Standing Soldier,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald Sr., Lyle Weston,
Abstain.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Abstain.
Donroy Gosper, Garfield Steele, George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Anna Helverson,
Abstain.
Ten yes, 3 abstain, 5 not voting. Motion carried.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay. Question.
I'm gonna question quorum because you got some not voting, and if they left the building or they're somewhere else, we can't use them as not voting because that goes to the majority vote.
Fourteen.
Yeah, and you got more than that on the voting tally.
Okay, Secretary, roll call. Beef, is there anybody else off there? You notice?
I know that quorum, but he's got 18 votes.
Okay.
I'm not questioning quorum, I'm questioning the vote. You got 18 votes, and you've only got 15 of us.
Go ahead.
And that was my question. Does the ordinance require 2/3? No. Is it just majority vote then?
Majority vote from my understanding.
Time's getting back.
There's room to get in there.
Where is that, at the house?
Man, be hot up there. No family.
And 4 rows of bleachers.
I have my seat being saved, so I'm good.
Put chili on yourself.
Yeah, I believe that it was a simple majority, so that we should be good to go on that last one. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, before we lose quorum here, or someone decides to get up and leave, I think we have the elders here. We should address their issue. And I would like to move them up. Go ahead, Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, I think we need to move them up. You know, we always did that for other committees that because of the quorum, we're losing quorum, we're losing some of the council people. I don't know where they went, but we got to have 14 votes for this to pass. Is that right? Yeah. So I would like to move that up at the
Okay,
next
so
one.
motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Sears, second by Councilwoman Lutz.
Just that item.
Spotted Bear, I'm sorry. Roll call.
Jeremy Rosales,
Yes.
Beef Randall,
Yes.
Tyler Lunderman,
Yes.
Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Blaine Little Thunder,
Yes.
Troy Little,
Yes.
David Poyer, David Kelly,
Yes.
Julian Spotted Bear,
Yes.
Norman Standing Soldier,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald Senior, Lyle Weston,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Don Gosper, Garfield Steele, George Dreamer Jr.,
Yes.
Anna Halverson.
Yes.
Fifteen yes, 3 not voting, motion carried. Go ahead.
I'm looking through the packet and I don't see, I don't have that in my packet or in the email.
It's on a 2/3.
Oh, the 2/3?
Order 2/3. Okay, so if you look in your 2/3 agenda item, it's number 2.
Chair,
Yes.
can I ask the secretary to read this one?
Yes, that's fine. Fast reader. All right.
Ordinance of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe affirming the Tribal Council's interpretation of the 2/3 vote under the OST Constitution and bylaws, Article 11, amendments to mean 2/3 of the council at a duly held Tribal Council meeting and confirming the request for a secretarial election. Whereas the Sovereignty Clause, Section 16 Clause, Article 4 Clause, whereas the Tribal Council passed OST Resolution Number 25-184, September 16, 2025, approving the call for a secretarial election to vote on 5 proposed constitutional amendments. And whereas the Bureau of Indian Affairs has requested a tribal resolution or ordinance that affirms the Tribal Council's interpretation of the 2/3 vote under Article 11 of the OST Constitution and confirming the request for the secretarial election. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe has inherent authority to interpret its own constitution and interpreted a 2/3 vote under Article 11 means 2/3 of the Tribal Council, which is at a minimum a vote in favor of by 14 council members at a duly held meeting. And whereas the voices of elder through the OST President's Office has reviewed the matter and recommends that the Tribal Council approves this ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council does hereby affirm that 2/3 of the Tribal Council under Article 11 of the Constitution means 2/3 of the council and consists of a yes vote of 14 or more at a duly held meeting. And be it further ordained that the Tribal Council affirms the request for secretarial election pursuant to OST Resolution Number 25-184 as follows. That the Tribal Council hereby requests a secretarial election where each of the following 5 proposed amendments are voted on individually by tribal members. Amendment 1, Article 3, governing Section 4, current language. Each recognized district shall elect representatives to the Tribal Council in the proportion of 1 representative for each 1,000 members, or a remainder of more than 500. Recognized communities with less than 500 members shall be consolidated by the Tribal Council with an adjacent recognized community. Proposed language, each recognized district shall elect 1 representative to the Tribal Council. Amendment 2, Article 3, governing body, Section 6. Current language, the officers of the Tribal Council shall be a president, vice president, elected by the members of the Oglala Sioux Tribe at large, and a secretary, a treasurer, and such other officer as may be deemed necessary, elected by the Tribal Council from within or outside of its own number. Officers elected from outside the membership of the council shall have no vote in the council, except that the president shall vote in the case of a tie. Proposed language, the officers of the tribal council shall be a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and fifth member elected by the members of the Oglala Sioux tribe at large. Any additional officers as may be deemed necessary shall be elected by the tribal council from within or outside of its own number. Officers selected from outside the membership of the council shall have no vote in the council except that the president shall vote in the case of a tie. Amendment 3, Article 13, Responsibilities of the Executive Committee Officers, Section 4. Current language. The treasurer shall be the custodian of all funds which come under the jurisdiction or control of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. The treasurer shall pay out funds in accordance with the laws established by the Tribal Council, shall keep accounts of all receipts and disbursements, and shall make written reports to the Tribal Council at each regular and special meeting. The treasurer shall be bonded